do this. Let's take things a step by step. Okay, so we'll begin looking at the ideal behind this practice. What does it mean to pray the Psalms? Praying the Psalms helps broaden our perspective with the beautiful language given to us in the Psalms. In a church setting, praying the Psalms can look like a congregational reading. In our personal prayer times, it may be memorizing scripture to use in our prayer time or reading from the Bible as we pray. In short, praying the Psalms involves reading the Psalms, writing the Psalms, meditating on the Psalms, memorizing the Psalms. Just like the Bible reading plan, the Psalms can serve as a Bible praying plan. To look closer at what it means to pray through the Psalms, we can look at scripture itself. The Psalms work perfectly as prayers because many of them are prayers. Okay? So we have a list of Psalms that David used for different situations. So let's see. So when David prayed for mercy and love, he used Psalms 25. When he prayed for safety from his enemies, he also used Psalm 25. When David prayed for his guilt to be pardoned, he used Psalms 25. When David prayed for God's direction, he used Psalms 25. He kept using the same one, and it worked for everything. Okay, so these prayers made their way into the Bible passages. Many of the great teachers and authors of the New Testament actually quoted Psalms in their own lectures, letters, and prayers. So, Paul quotes Psalm 19 as proof that Israel has heard the gospel. Okay. Let's see. I'm skimming over this. Okay. This gets pretty deep. Okay, so Jesus quotes Psalms in prayer. If no other reason to pray the Psalms, we can follow Jesus in his example. Jesus Christ himself quoted Psalms in prayer. He quoted many scriptures throughout the New Testament as he preached and served in God's name. Okay. When Jesus hung from the cross, he said, my God, why have you forsaken me? And, Jesus is actually quoting Psalms 22, in which David laments over God forsaking Israel. He quotes a psalm of suffering and of glory, a picture of the gospel. Then, before he takes his last breath, Jesus quotes a psalm again. Okay. We see Jesus crying out loud, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Just before taking his last breath, this too is an important quote from a Psalms in which David followed a theme of trust and redemption. Psalm 31 says, into your hands I commit my spirit. You have redeemed me, O Lord, faithful God. Okay. This is a lot. So the benefits of praying the Psalms. When we read in the Bible, we can bring about even more benefits when we also pray the Bible. Praying the Psalms is a special way of praying the Bible because the Psalms are already written directly to God. Praying Psalms to get comfortable with prayer. If you're just beginning your prayer life, communicating in the way of Psalms can take some getting used to. Not knowing what to expect or how it can feel can get in the way of the peace prayer can ultimately provide. It helps to remember that prayer is simply communication. It's establishing a connection and welcoming interaction with God. It helps think of it like reading a poem to someone you admire or care about. It may not match the way you converse with them over lunch, but it is to communicate your adoration and appreciation. Through prayer, God ensures us the opportunity to tell him concerns, worries, requests, or praises, and anything else on our minds. The Psalms helps us. So, when things are hard, we're unsure how to pray, we can look to the Psalms for words that resonate with our current experiences. Using the Psalms to pray also gives us an opportunity to grow in knowledge of God through His Word. So praying Psalms helps us express our pain. Okay? I'm checking out what all they're saying here. So when prayer is painful, using God's words can offer us comfort and peace. When prayer is intimidating, looking to real humans from the Bible can make us feel less alone. That sounds good. Praying Psalms helps us make sense of our thoughts and feelings. When life is confusing, prayer can also be confusing. But when we don't know how to put our words and emotions together in prayer, we can look to Scripture. When David is angry and anguished and grieved, his Psalms still reflect the goodness of God. Psalms can become the perfect personalized prayer when life and spirituality get confusing, especially in asking God to lead me in the path of your commandments and turn my eyes from looking at worthless things and give me life in your ways. Praying through Scripture in general can help us through confusing times. In fact, there are great examples of our biblical heroes quoting Old Testament scriptures in prayer. You can use actual prayers from the Bible as a template for your own prayers. Praying Psalms can help us feel closer to God. Okay? One of the biggest reasons we might struggle with prayer is because we don't feel like we know who it is we're praying to. We can't see God or hear His voice in ways when we talk to other humans. God can feel very far away at times. And, prayer is the way to move closer to Him. Getting into the Psalms helps even more because it's one big collection of stories, songs, and poems that depict a relationship. The Psalms tell the story of the relationship between God and Israel. Okay? Skimming over. So how to start praying the Psalms. All you need is a Bible or the internet. You can do a simple search for a topic that relates to your current situation, or you can randomly choose a psalm to begin with. You don't have to do everything in the list here, and you may come up with some ideas of your own as you get to know the Psalms a little better. But here are some tips for getting started. Read your Psalms in your own handwriting. Read through a Psalms and personalize it through drawing or some other form of art. Memorize part of a Psalms and incorporate it into your normal prayer. Read Psalms aloud to yourself or someone else either before you pray or as you pray. Meditate on a passage of the Psalms until it feels like your own prayer. Envision you're saying it straight to God. Make a Psalms your own by using I or we in the text. Copy the structure of the Psalms in your own written prayer. Insert words and names into the existing structure and use that verse. Because the Bible was written by people like you and me, many of the verses we find in Psalms can fit into our everyday prayer. Here are some Psalms to start with, based on the feelings and ideals expressed within them. So the different Psalms for protection is Psalms 27, Psalms 121, Psalms 4, Psalms 9, Psalms 25, and Psalms 116. Those are the Psalms for protection. Psalms when asking for help or guidance. Psalms 38, Psalms 70, Psalms 143 is the Psalms you recite when asking for help or guidance. Psalms of praise. Psalms 100, Psalms 145, Psalms 103, Psalms 34, and Psalms 8 is the Psalms for praise. Okay? Psalms of confession and surrender. Psalms 38, Psalms 130, Psalms 51, and Psalms 32. Whether you're just beginning your prayer journey or whether you already pray several times a day, praying through the Psalms can enrich your prayer life in ways you might not expect. Some of the most beautiful poetry of the Bible can guide us into new experiences with the God who created us and loves us dearly. Start praying through Psalms today. It's a great way to accompany your own online Bible study. So I hope you now know how to use the Psalms to pray. And here we go right here. This book is called Success Empowered Through Psalms. Here's the back of it. Let me show you the table of contents. And as you open it, right here, it shows you a prayer for protection. And it also has an index for telling you what Psalms to use for different situations in your life. Look at that. It might be a little blurry. So I'll just give an example. If you're wanting to improve your business, that would be Psalms 8. Come here, Mr. Fox. Okay, so if you're wanting to make more friends, that's Psalms 133. If you want to have a pleasant day, that's Psalms 3. If you want to be a winner, that's Psalms 127. If you want to ask for guidance, that's Psalms 28. Now, if you want revenge, that's Psalms 54. If you want to forget a past love, that's Psalms 57. If you want to have a peaceful home, that's Psalms 128. If you want to make a husband love his wife, that's Psalms 46. If you want to lose some weight, that's Psalms 126. Okay. If you want to change your luck, that's Psalms 62. If you want to gain good luck, that's Psalms 4. And if you want to become pregnant, that's Psalms 103 and Psalms 98. Psalms to become popular, Psalms 32. If you're needing justice, that's Psalms 99. To overcome difficulty, that's Psalms 43. To overcome depression, that's Psalms 141. To receive a healing, that's Psalms 116. To receive a blessing, that's Psalms 144. To strengthen your love, that's Psalms 82. To ward off jealousy, that's Psalm 82. To ward off evil, that's Psalms 109. To stop a hex, that's Psalms 142. To rid your house of evil spirits, that's Psalms 38. To remove an evil spirit, that's Psalms 15. To receive some money, that's Psalms 69. For protection from animals, that's Psalms 58. To prevent a psychic attack, that's Psalms 100. Power to control your enemies, that's Psalms 48. To overcome hatred, that's Psalms 137. We'll do one more. To open up the future, that's Psalms 84. So I hope you guys see how cool this is. And here's the other book called The Power of Psalms. 375 ways to use the Psalms for love, power, revenge, success, blessing, prosperity, and protection. And the book shows different rituals, prayers, and purpose. All 150 Psalms are included in this book right here. And let me see. What should I show you about this too? They have a table of contents too. Okay, so their table of contents are similar where it'll give you example, like list all the Psalms for if you need protection or, you know, to better your health. It has like the Psalms listed for to attract love, for gratitude, answer to your prayers. If you've lost faith, it tells you what Psalms for that. Yep, it has all that in here. Whoops. And notice I have this stuff highlighted, because you can do that too for each situation to make your life easier for when you go through it. You know, you can associate whatever it is with a particular color.